Francis, you are a musician. And we know that part of the things that we use to shape social construct is music. A lot of people move in the direction of what music says. Over time, we've not really had, you know, like people that, you know, sing songs that are, you know, like nationally building. Everybody's, you know, singing. A lot of persons are singing songs that have to do with how the ring light of the woman's body is. Nothing constructive.
It's the ring light for me.
You know, nothing socially building. But recently, a veteran musician, we're talking about Eedris Abdulkareem, came out of the woods. And man has literally sung all of the headlines that we have talked about on national TV since, you know, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration came on board. So he put all of those headlines into a song and has called, you know, called Tinubu, who is the son of the president, to go tell his father a couple of things. I had to listen to the song because the big thing there is that the National Broadcasting Commission has banned broadcast stations from airing that particular song. Because of a key phrase that I like to use, objectionable nature. So the song has an objectionable nature, and we, you know, broadcast stations, you know, nationally have been asked not to air that particular song. But my twist is that those are literally like, you know, headlines. Like everything we talk about on national TV, headlines, we talk about it, he put it in a song, but the song, I mean, can't air. And, you know, a lot of Nigerians are reacting to this. Is this still about, is it part of the freedom of speech? Is this hindering freedom of speech? Do you really think as a person that, you know, that song is objectionable, as the NBC had said? Like, is it something that should not be talked about, something that should not be that should be snoozed, actually? But remember, the NBC has just catered to broadcast stations, not the fact that it can be used over the social media.
Well, one of the things that Nigerians have accused the NBC over time has been the fact that oftentimes they allow themselves to be used as agents of abuse, of agents to try and gag the media, try to, you know, censor what the people hear. And of course, that has also been the conversation and part of the reason why a lot of people are not in support of, you know, what most National Assembly members had bargained for, trying to ban the social media or trying to control the presence and the use of music or intellectual properties or generally content on social media, because of the fear that, oh, okay, you have been able to ban, you know, the mainstream media, and the moment you ban the mainstream media, you're definitely on your way to, you know, take absolute control of what every other person gets to hear as far as Nigeria is concerned, which does not really sit well with a lot of Nigerians. But of course, I haven't had the time, you know, to really pay attention to the song and the part that the NBC has, you know, spoken to. Now, and of course, the quoted section 318 of the Nigerian Broadcasting Code, and of course, use that to urge broadcast stations to not carry the song. But Nigerians have reacted in different, you know, front. And of course, the song has gained a lot more traction on social media since the NBC hop on the restriction board, and, you know, of course, asked Nigerian media organizations not to play. Now, the highlight from the theme of the song, if I were to analyze first off, from the theme of the song, Tell Your Papa, and of course, figuratively looking at the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and the undertone behind it, which is literally Eedris telling Tinubu or Tinubu to be truthful, to be honest, and to be sincere. A lot of people would say there's nothing wrong with it, because it goes back to telling the leader the truth. And if we recall, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has said that he needs Nigerians to speak up. he needs Nigerians to tell the government things as they are. And of course, part of the reason why we're even talking about the youth confab is for Nigerians to tell the president the truth, or Nigerian youths to tell the president about the truth, and then go ahead to proffer solutions to these truth in form of challenges that they have seen happening in the society. And of course, offering Nigeria a way forward. That's why we're talking about 30 days of putting youths across the 774 local government areas in this country in one place, feeding them, housing them, making sure there's security for them, making sure the enabling environment is provided for them to think think around solutions about Nigeria's problems. So a lot of people would fall on the other side of the divide of criticizing the government for trying to, ban the song. But then, like you rightly stated, it's banned on mainstream media. It doesn't mean it's not on the social media and other media platforms outside of the mainstream media. And Nigerians are still going to, consume. I remember watching a narrative on YouTube last night, and the person went about all the things that have been highlighted and how that is actually the true picture of things that is happening in Nigeria. See, let's be fair with ourselves, right? And I know that one of the conversations that broadcast media, broadcast organizations have had with NBC has always come down to what exactly is obscene languages, what exactly are controversial languages, what exactly are lyrics that are not building up society. Must we always classify any lyrical composition or artwork that paints the picture of what society is at the moment to the world? Must we always try to ban it? Let's go back to the era of African China, Nigeria, Jaga Jaga song that came on board, and then the NBC banned it as at that time. If you look at what was happening in Nigeria, that was exactly what was happening. Gunshots, bomb blasts, everything was like, it was literally like the country was on a rampage, or some savages were on rampage in every part of the country, or in some part of the country. So you wake up every day, there is a suicide bomber who has detonated in this place, there's another one in that state, there's this one in this place, and then the numbers of casualty keeps piling up, the numbers of people who lose family, who lose friends, who lose businesses keep piling up. And that was what the song was all about. But the NBC banned it. So on the other side, media practitioners had anticipated that this will come. So it is no surprise to some of us.
It's no surprise, but we see also that the Performing Musicians Association of Nigeria have voiced their strong objection to the NBC's ban on Eedris Abdulkareem's trending song, Tell Your Papa. And of course, the key thing here is that in even highlighting the song and asking broadcasters not to air it is one of the things that is currently making the song viral.
Trend, yeah. Because
everybody's going to be, oh my God, what's in this song that the NBC is saying should not be aired? And one of the things that, the PMA is actually calling out the NBC for is in saying, first of all, this song has pinched the government somewhere before the government has now notified the NBC, asking the NBC not to air that particular song. But then, the song just goes viral on the heel of that particular, directive by the federal government, pseudo through the NBC, as it were. Now, the PMAN president, Okafo, has emphasized that the ban was likely to backfire, as it only serves to amplify the song's reach and relevance in light of current socio-economic challenges facing Nigerians. And he literally was singing about all of the things that, is happening in the country. But that's it on that particular one. Just so you know, if you now go to your radio stations and it's not being aired,
you won't hear it.
Yeah.
But I'm just looking at some of the cut out of the lyrics that NBC has highlighted. The song, so the part of the lyrics quoted by the NBC, you say, Sheyi, tell your papa country heart, tell your papa people they die. Tell your papa this one don't pass Jaga Jaga. Sheyi, how far? Okay, now I'm going to skip the far word. Tell your papa, say, in no try. Too much empty promises on behalf of Nigerians. Take our messages to him. Kidnappers, they kill Nigerians. Try travel by road without your security, make you feel the pains of fellow Nigerians. You they fly private jet, insecurity no be your problem. Okay, so what exactly is, wrong with all of those things? Because these are things, like you rightly stated at the beginning of the conversation, these are things that, form part of media conversation. There is insecurity, there is hunger, there is kidnapping, there are bad roads littered everywhere that you turn around. And then when you travel on this bad road, aside from the fact that the roads are horrible, you're talking about high cost of living. People are dying on a daily basis. There is hunger in the land. There's poverty. There's starvation. So if you look at that part, literally those are the realities happening in Nigeria. The promises on the part of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that's where there will be a debate. Is it actually empty promises? Because the president had asked Nigerians for 3 years. Now, he has not exhausted that 3 years yet. So we can say the president is still in his grace period. He asked Nigerians, I'm going to turn things around in 3 years. He's only done 1 year, 9 months, and will be 2 years by next month, right? So he still has 12 whole months. The presidency, the federal government has consistently said, oh, look, the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration's policies is turning things around. So maybe in the next 1 year before the expiration of that 3 years period that the president asked us, we possibly might wake up to see great transformation across board, especially in the areas that, he has initiated policies. So until then, that aspect of failed promises or empty promises is debatable.
Well, debatable. One key phrase there is objectionable nature. And now when you're looking at something that is objectionable, you're looking at something that is disagreeable. There are, quite a number of things, according to the NBC, that is said in the lyrical content of that song that is disagreeable by the government, by, some people in the country. We also see that the word also means offensive. So those words in the song, the lyrics in the song can offend, some people in the country and are perceived as unpleasant. Now, they can also lead to disapproval of a person or lead to a protest. And maybe that's where the NBC is coming from. They don't want the songs to be aired on our platforms so that invariably we are not, hitting up to the disapproval that Nigerians have of the president, or we do not incite a protest as a result of that. I'm just giving the English meaning of the word objectionable nature, which is how the NBC described that particular musical content.